Before you spend another $1,000 on a new iPhone, you need to hear what's quietly happening behind the scenes at Apple, because the thing they're working on right now could replace both your iPhone and your iPad in one shot. I'm talking about the first foldable iPhone, the so-called iPhone Fold. And if you listen all the way through, you'll know whether it's actually worth waiting for, what it will probably look like, how much it might cost you, and the one design decision that could kill it before it even launches. Let's be clear up front. Apple has not officially announced an iPhone Fold. Everything you're about to hear is based on patents, reliable leaks, supply chain reports, and Apple's own history. Nothing is guaranteed, but when you put all of that together, a very clear picture starts to form of what Apple is trying to do and why they're taking so long. Think about how Apple moves. They're almost never first. Closed, it feels like a premium, slightly chunky iPhone with a display on the outside for quick interactions. Notifications, calls, messages, maps, music. You open it, and it unfolds into a tablet-sized screen that's closer to an iPad mini. The bezels are thin, the corners are rounded, and the whole thing is wrapped in a titanium or aerospace-grade aluminum frame, similar to the latest Pro models. But the real magic, and the hardest part, is the crease. Every foldable today has a compromise. You can feel the crease, you can see it in bright light. It reminds you that you're using a version 1 product. Apple knows they cannot ship that experience at scale and call it an iPhone. That's where those hybrid glass and self-healing patents come in. That means less pressure on any single point and usually better long-term durability. On top of that, Apple is obsessed with fit and finish. Fewer gaps when closed, tighter tolerances, and potentially better dust and water resistance than any foldable we've seen so far. If they can say, this is the foldable you don't have to baby, that instantly separates them from the crowd. But hardware is only half the story. The real power of an iPhone Fold is the software. Right now, iOS is built for a single, flat screen. Yes, you have some multitasking on iPad, but nothing like what a true foldable demands. So imagine this. On the outside display, you get the classic iPhone interface, your apps, widgets, camera, everything you already know. Flip it open, and you're suddenly in a more advanced workspace. 2 or 3 apps side by side, drag and drop between windows, a video call on one side, notes on the other, a full desktop-class Safari with real browser tabs. Maybe even Apple Pencil support, turning the inside display into a sketchpad or notebook. And then think about how it talks to the rest of your Apple ecosystem. You start editing a document on the big inner screen, close the phone, and it snaps into a compact view on the outer screen without losing your place. You sit down at your Mac, and the foldable shows up as a wireless secondary display or control surface. AirPods auto switch. Files sync instantly. This isn't just a gimmick fold. It's a pocket-sized productivity hub sliding right between an iPhone Pro and an 11-inch iPad Pro. Of course, with a larger body comes room for bigger hardware. Cameras are an easy win. A thicker device has more space for lenses and, more importantly, for the periscope systems that enable real 5x or 10x optical zoom without a huge camera bump. Apple can use the extra volume for larger sensors, better low-light performance, and more advanced stabilization. On the inside, expect a top-end A-series chip, similar to what's in the latest Pro iPhones, tuned for multitasking and big displays. Don't expect a full M-series Mac chip in there yet. That's overkill for a phone, but do expect laptop-level efficiency. And yes, that extra internal volume should finally mean the words every heavy user wants to hear: all-day battery life, even in tablet mode. So if the tech is getting there, why hasn't Apple pulled the trigger? 2 reasons: risk and cannibalization. First, risk. If Apple launches an iPhone Fold and the first wave of users have issues, dead pixels along the fold, hinges breaking, display lines, the foldable iPhone is fragile story sticks for a decade. They cannot afford another Ben Gate, but multiplied by 2,000. They're going to torture test this thing until it survives more folds than you'll ever do. Oh, in the product's lifetime. And they will absolutely wait until component yields are high enough that they're not shipping ticking time bombs. Second, cannibalization. A successful iPhone Fold doesn't just steal sales from Samsung. It steals from Apple itself. From the iPad mini, from the smaller iPad Pro, from the biggest iPhone Pro Max, Apple loves new categories, but they hate killing profitable old ones. That's why the positioning of this device is so sensitive. They're likely to frame it not as the new normal iPhone, but as an ultra-premium, top-of-the-line model for power users and early adopters. That way, they make more money per device without collapsing the rest of the lineup on day one. Now let's talk about the part your wallet actually cares about: price. Look at today's market. Traditional iPhones already push past the $1,000 line. High-end foldables from other brands live in the $1,600 to $1,900 range. Apple is not going to come in cheaper than Samsung. If anything, they'll go higher and then explain why you save money by not needing both a phone and a tablet. So the realistic expectation for a first-generation iPhone Fold is somewhere around laptop money. Think in the ballpark of a high-end MacBook Air, not a base iPhone. Painful? Yes. Surprising? Not at all. When could you actually buy one? No one outside Apple knows the exact year, but based on display tech roadmaps, analyst reports, and how long Apple tends to incubate new form factors, foldable hardware from Apple looks like a mid-decade product, not something dropping any month now. If you just upgraded your iPhone in the last year or two, you're probably safe using it for a while without worrying that a foldable will make it instantly feel ancient. If you're still on a much older device, freezing your life for a rumor might not be the smartest move. Now, here's the one design decision that could make or break the iPhone Fold: thickness versus endurance. To keep the internet happy, Apple will be tempted to make this thing impossibly slim and beautiful. That means a tighter hinge, thinner glass, smaller battery, less structural margin for error. But the reality of daily life is brutal: drops, pockets, dust, heat. If they choose slimness over survivability, we'll get a gorgeous device that feels amazing until it doesn't. On the other hand, if Apple accepts a slightly thicker, slightly heavier design, they can pack in more battery, a more forgiving hinge, and more robust materials. The question is, will you accept a chunkier foldable if it actually replaces two devices and survives 3 to 5 years of real-world use? So should you wait for an iPhone Fold? Here's the honest answer. If you upgrade every year anyway and you love being on the bleeding edge, sure, keep this on your radar. Pay attention to the patents, the supply chain leaks, the little hints and iOS updates that show Apple preparing for foldable layouts. But if your current phone is slowing down, the battery is dying by lunch, and the camera is stuck in 2019, don't torture yourself holding out for something that might still be a couple of cycles away. Foldables are coming. Apple will join, but your life doesn't have to pause for it. The bigger story is this: the iPhone Fold, whenever it arrives, is not just another spec bump. It's Apple quietly admitting that the flat rectangle we've been carrying for over a decade is reaching its limit. The lines between phone, tablet, and laptop are blurring. Your phone is becoming your main computer. Your tablet is becoming an accessory. And a foldable iPhone is the bridge between those worlds. So think about this. If Apple hands you a device that can be your phone, your iPad, your Kindle, your game console, and maybe even your light-use laptop, all in one object that folds into your pocket, do you actually want that? Or do you prefer dedicated, separate devices that each do one job really well? Let me know where you stand. Would you actually buy an iPhone Fold, even at a painful price, if it replaced your phone and tablet? Or is this just a tech nerd fantasy that most people will never care about? Because one thing is almost certain: when Apple finally steps into foldables, it won't just be the new iPhone. It'll be Apple's way of telling you that the idea of what a phone is about to change forever.